combining several classifiers and the final result we are applying. Uh, Anyway, it is better than previous. Why? Because it is a combination of several classifiers. Okay, so first we will see what is meant by this. So ensemble method's main purpose is to increase the accuracy. Here you can observe, so input is the data can be uh, uh, divided into number of sets here, data 1, data 2, data 3, data 4, like that, d1, d2, d3 and so on. Okay, so on those data sets we are applying some classification model, classification technique. That model is nothing but the class c1, c2, c3, C4 and so on, CT. These are the different classifiers. So the input data, capital D, can be divided into D1, D2, D3 and so on, Dn. On each and every data set we are applying classification method, different classification models we are applying. Different classification techniques, and we are getting a classifier like this. This is the classifier C1, C2, C3 and so on. These are the models. These are the models. Why? Because on training data, this is the data set D is the training data. On training data we are applying the technique, and we are getting some model. That model is nothing but classification model. Here number of models are there, classification models C1, C2 and so on, CT. Number of classification models are there. Okay, so combine words, this is nothing but here we are in ensemble method. We are following the procedure in each and every classification model. We are using different technique, different classification techniques. Now we have seen already various techniques. Those we will use, and we will get one classification model. So from each classification model we get some result. So you combine all those results here. Combine words means for classifier one, it divides the data into some classes. So how it divides? 100 items can be divided into some 10 classes or 11 classes, like that. The C1 given result, C2 given some other result, C3 given some other result. So the minute variance is there in between different classifiers. Here we will combine all the classifiers results. All the classifiers results we will combine. All the words we will combine, and this can be applied on new data sample. This is nothing but a test set. We already know, no? Training data we are having. We apply some method. We create some model, and so that model we will apply on new data set. That is a test set. Here also the same thing, but the difference is here number of classification models are there, number of classifiers are there. So training data divided into number of data sets, d1, d2 and so on, dn. For each and every data set we apply some classification. So that model, that result is nothing but the classifier c1, c2 and so on, cn. We will combine all these classifiers result. From all these models will create a new model. That is nothing but combining words. Each and every classifier gives some result. So C1 divides the 100 classes into 100 data items into 10 classes. 1 to 9 becomes one class, 11 to 20 becomes one second class, like that. So C2 given 1 to 10 items belongs to one class, 11 to 20 belongs to some other class, some second class. So the result will be different. You are combining all those. You are, I can say this is the average you are taking, or highest, which is good in these all classifiers, which is better in these all classifiers. You are labeling that, you are taking that classifier, or you can take the average of the classifiers. These are the different techniques. These are the different ensemble methods we can follow. In different ensemble methods we follow the same principle, common principle, that is data set D is the input, that is the training data, that can be divided into d1, d2 and so on, dn number of training data sets. For each and every training data set we apply some classification technique and we can get some model that is nothing but a C1, C2 and so on, Cn or Ct. These are training classifiers, then combine all classifiers can combine, and that can be applied to train test set or new data sample or test set. Then we can predict the class for that test data set or a new data sample. For that new data sample we will predict the class. Okay, that is the main important thing in ensemble method. That is the principle, that is the main principle in ensemble method. See here, in ensemble method use a combination of models to increase accuracy. See here, to increase accuracy, what we are doing, we are doing combination of models. Here C1, C2 and so on, Cn are different models. You are combining all models. So if one model given some accuracy 84.9, second given some 83.4, and next given 91, like that number of classifiers will give, number of models will give number of accuracies, different accuracies they will give. This encephalomy is nothing but combining all. Automatically that will give the better accuracy, na? So you are combining all. By mean I can say, here you in your class 60 members are there. If each and everyone take an exam, so each and everyone get some result. For some 100 aptitude questions are there. 100 aptitude questions, so one person will get 60, one person will get 70, one person will get 90, like that. 60 members will get some different marks, but all the 60 members combined, na? So if 60 members combined, you are forming a group and you are giving a test. Okay, you are combined preparation. You are combinedly 60 members are together writing an exam, then it is obviously you can get more marks. Okay, if an individual written the exam, taken the exam, so then it will be always less when you combine 60 members combined and you get some, you taken some exam. Automatically some person know some topics very well. Some person is strong in C programming, some person may be strong in Python programming, some person strong in Java concepts. If the paper consists of, question paper consists of all the topics, automatically if a single person take the exam, then he or she will get a less marks compared to all entire class taken the exam, 60 members together taken the exam. So here also simply number of classifiers, here all the classifiers we are using now, combinedly we are using now. So definitely we will get a good result than a single classifier. So that is the ensemble method. Okay, the popular ensemble methods. So different popular ensemble methods are there. So before going to this, here we will see other point. Combine a series of k-layered models. This is the M1, M2, M3, and so on MK, with the aim of creating an improved model M star. Here, already we told, no? K-learned models, number of models we will create, M1 to M10, M20, like that, 20, 30, like number of models we created. The aim is to improve the model. Number of models we created, all models we are combining. What is the purpose? The purpose is to improve the model. The purpose is to get the higher accuracy. So here, see, ensemble method main aim is to increase the accuracy. Accuracy. Simple single model gives accuracy of 84. So you combine with other models, obviously you will get some improvement. That may be only 2% or 0.2%, 0.5%. So it is an improvement. So that is the ensemble method main motto, process. Then we will see what are the different ensemble methods. So popular ensemble methods are bagging and boosting. In your syllabus also you are having bagging and boosting techniques. So what is meant by bagging? Bagging is nothing but averaging the prediction over a collection of classifiers. In bagging, what we will do, you will do the same principle you will apply in ensemble method. The basic principle was seen that diagram is same for two methods, bagging and boosting. But what is the difference? My small difference, minor difference is there. So in bagging, averaging the prediction over collection of classifiers. So number of classifiers you are finding, and all those results can be taken, and average value can be predicted. Those average value is the result. Based on the average value, we will predict the class labels. So that is the bagging method. Bagging is nothing but the name itself indicates. Bag is nothing but combining several results and taking the average, and based on that average result you will predict the value. That is bagging. What is meant by boosting? Boosting is nothing but a weighted vote with a collection of classifiers. See here, boosted, the name itself the name itself indicates which is high. So you created 10 models. So for first model you get some result. For going to second model, what you will do? From first model you learn something, that that knowledge you can use in second model creation. You can get better result in M2. Next, in third model creation, the knowledge of first model and second model can be taken. Automatically M3 is better than M1 and M2. Next, M4 can be created, that is better than M1, M2, M3. Like this, previous models, the particular model, advanced model is obviously better. That is nothing but boosting. Boosting is nothing but the weighted vote. That means using one model you get some accuracy. That knowledge can be useful to create the second model. Obviously second model is better than first model, a third model is better than second model. Like that, the boosting will be like this. Okay, bagging is nothing but number of models can be created. So all models can average can be taken, that can be created as a new model, that is better than all those. That is bagging. Boosting means number of models are there. In those all models, you will obviously get a good result. you you are taking the knowledge of previous models. From previous models you are improving, and you are using some classification techniques. In first model you get some errors. Those errors you will not get in second model. In second model, itself you are having some error rate. That errors you will rectify in third model. Like that, this is the boosting. So I hope you understood bagging and boosting, the main difference. So bagging is nothing but the average of all classifiers, all models. Boosting is nothing but number of models. From each and every model we will get some knowledge. So, and for next model is nothing but the improvement of the previous model. Like that, several models. Last final model, it is the improvement of the previous all models. Ensemble is nothing but combining a set of heterogeneous classifiers. Combining set of each and every classifier is different. Each and every classifier is different. It will give different result. Uh, the data is the data may be different, or some it may be some item may be repeat. For example, uh, 1 2 3 4 like that, no? Next 5 6 7 again one may come. Next 9 10 again 5 may come. Like that, different samples we will take. Okay? So entire sample will not be same. Okay, so that's why it is heterogeneous. Some data item may be same, some data item may be match. Okay, you are randomly taking the values. Some data item may be repeat. Entire data dn, for example, that d1 is completely not equal to d2. So you are taking different values. The data item may be similar. Okay, in two data sets, one item may be similar, two items may be similar. Like that. What is meant by bagging? We will go in depth about bagging. So we can analyze and understand this using a simple example analogy diagnosis based on multiple doctors majority vote. Here, I can give an example. You consult several doctors instead of a single doctor. Okay, if you have a disease or doubt on your health, you are doubtful on your health, you have to consult a doctor. Instead of consulting single doctor, you are consulting several doctors. Number of doctors you are consulting. Okay, then what you are doing from all the number of all the doctors, from each and every doctor you get some problems regarding your health. A full body check you are doing in each and every hospital. So they are giving some result. Okay, so you are taking the result and you are going to all hospitals. Finally, you are getting the result that is from first doctor you get some suggestions like that, or you have these problems. From second doctor he told you have these problems. From third doctor he told that you have these problems. Then final all doctors suggestions you combine and you can create a chart. Then you can easily know that what problems uh, what are the minor problems you are having. Okay, your body is having. Okay, so like that the bagging will work. Here also same training set. What the training set consists of? Given a d of a small d tuples. Capital data set d is the that consists of some hundred or thousand, like the number of data tuples. Each and every tuple is treated as small d. Yet each iteration I, a training set di of small d tuples is sampled with replacement from d. Here you observe what is the main thing we follow in backing is nothing but from capital D in data set creating cre- we are creating number of small data sets. Okay, these data sets with replacement. So already I told no. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like that 100 items are there, or 10 items are there. So for in first set you may consist 1, 2, 3, 4. In second set you may consist 1, 5, 6, 7. In third set you may consist 2, 3, 4, 6 like that. Like that randomly the data sets can be taken. Random samples can be taken. For each and every sample we will create a model. Like that it will be bagging is nothing but the process in which number of data samples can be taken with replacement. The data item may be replaced. Okay, so next, a classifier model mi is learned for each training set di. For each training set di, d1 d2 and so on d, a classifier model mi is learned, mi is created. So for each and every small data set d1, m1 can be created, d2 m2 can be taken, d3 m3 can be taken, d4 m4 can be taken. So this is the training set. D1, D2, and so on. DN are the 10 training set prepared from the taken from the input data set, input training set. Okay, so the models are nothing but those also created from the training set itself. From training data set itself, we are creating small data sets. From those small data sets, we are creating small models, small classifier models. Okay, so next, what is classification? Classify an unknown sample X. So how we can classify an unknown sample X? Each classifier MI returns a class prediction. Okay, here each model we are getting, so that predicts that predicts the which item related to which class. Each and every model gives a result. So then the backed classifier M star counts the votes and assigns the class with the most votes to X. Okay. For sample X, 1, 2, 3, 6 like that. So it belongs to which class? Class 1, class 2, class 3. Okay, it belongs to which class? The model 1 give one result, model 2 gives one result, model 3 gives one result. Automatically, obviously, what we will take the average. The average is nothing but with number of number of models are saying 1, 2, 3, 4 belongs to class 1. Then that is the result. Automatically here in bagging, number of models, how many models are saying 1, 2, 3, 4 belongs to class 1. Okay, if one model is saying 1, 2, 3, 4 belongs to class 1, 2, 3, 4 other three models are saying 1, 2, 3, 4 belongs to class 2, so the result will be 1, 2, 3, 4 belongs to class 2. Why? Because number of models, highest number of models, more number of models, how they giving result, that is the final result. Okay, that is the bagging technique. So prediction. What is meant by prediction? Prediction can be applied to the prediction of continuous values by taking an average value of each prediction for a given test couple. Okay, we will take the average of all continuous value. Uh, okay, so this can be applied for prediction. So how this bagging can be applied to a prediction? Uh, Bagging can be applied for prediction like this. Okay. Continuous values. There are continuous values. For example, um, so 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. In aptitude reasoning, you are having some questions like that. No? So 3, 6, and 9. What is the next number? So you will analyze that. 3, 6, 9. Next number is 12. And you have to find out the next value, the continuous value. That value you can predict by using prediction. Training sets will be there, number of sets, training sets will be there. Based on that, you are having the best model. That model you will apply for this test set. Then on this test set, the model can be applied and you can get the final result. That is the continuous value. Next value, what is the next value that you can predict? Okay, so that is the prediction. In classification, the bagging can be used, and in prediction also the bagging can be used. In classification, the bagging can be used like this. That is the highest votes, that class label can be assigned. Here in prediction, the average value of each prediction can be taken. uh, Complete average of all predictions, that is the result. Okay. From training set, we are having different data sets and different models now. All those average can be used to predict the value, predict the continuous value. So you know now, prediction is nothing but you have to find out the numerical value. Here the continuous value you can predict. That continuous value you can predict by using this bagging approach. Okay, from number of models, uh, you can create a best model. That best model can be used here. Use it here to find out the next value. In classification, that M star best classifier counts the correct result, correct class label, and you can assign the class label to particular data items. That is the classification. So accuracy, how it will increase the accuracy? Often significantly better than a single classifier derived from T. So, so obviously it is better. So number of classifiers combination, number of models combination is nothing but it is better than the single. Okay. So when you combine several models, it gives a new model that is obviously better than each and every model. So for noise data, not considerably worse, more robust. Okay. For noise data also it will be good. Why? Because for noise data, if the data set consists of noise data, any model, say M1 gives some result, M2, M3 gives some result. If that noise data is high in any particular model, that is M2, that will give the worst result. Okay, then M1, M3, M4, these all models will give better result. Na? Automatically you are taking average. That average will give better result. So for the noisy data also, it is more robust, more powerful. Okay, improved accuracy in prediction. Okay, so in prediction also, the the next value can be predicted good than other methods. So this is about the bagging method. Okay, so bagging is nothing but simply from the input data set capital D, you are creating small data sets D1, D2, and so on Dn. These data sets may contain the repeated values. Repeated values. If you are having different values, data set D1 consists of some 1, 2, 3, 4. Data set D2 consists of same elements 1, 2, 3, 6 like that. So data elements may repeat. Here the main you have to underline that sampled with replacement. In training you will take sampling with replacement, sample elements with replacement, sample elements with repeated values, that we will take here. Okay, so and from those different samples, different sample data sets, you will create different models. All those models can be taken, and the combination of all those models are obviously better than the single model. Banking is nothing but average, I can say. The name itself indicates back. Back is nothing but combine number of model. Take the average. That is nothing but bagging. Okay. Next, what is meant boosting? Boosting is nothing but same example. Same example I will use for real time example for bagging. One we use in one person. Okay, you consult several doctors. From each and every doctor you get some report. All those reports you are combining, and from all those reports first doctor given you have these problems, you will combine all those problems. Okay, that means final result you are having 20 problems like that. Okay, that is the bad news. Then what is boosting? Boosting is nothing but you are analyzing each doctor diagnosis. First doctor given some report, you are analyzing that report. Okay, doctor given this problem, this lungs related problem. Second doctor, he given report lungs with some other problem is also there, some liver related problem is also there. You are again other doctor, he given lungs related problem. Okay, so you are from each and every doctor diagnosis. Each and every doctor is giving some result, some report. Those are all reports you are analyzing. Okay, first doctor report you are analyzing, and you go when you go to next doctor, what you will do? First doctor he given you are having some stomach related problem, normal doctor. Then what you will do? In second model, second time what you will do? You will consult that stomach gastrologist, like that stomach related problems for that specialized doctors are there. You will go to the doctor. Okay, the second doctor will give some report. Based on that, you will choose which doctor you have to go, which doctor you have to consult. That you can prepare. For that you can prepare like that. From each and every model, you will get some input here. So this is the improvement. From first model, you can get some knowledge, and that knowledge you will use in second model. From second model, you will get some knowledge, and that model you will use in third model. Like that, your continuous improvement. Continuous improvement. Model by model, you are improving. Final model, what M10 will give? M10 will give the best result than M1 to M9. That is the boosting approach. The name itself indicates boost is nothing but boosting each and every model. When you go to next model you are giving better than previous. So Windows 3, then Windows 3, Windows 5 is good. So Windows 5, Windows 7 is good. Again Windows 9 came. Then Windows 9, Windows 8. So Windows 8 is better than Windows 7. Windows 9 is not popular. Why? Because that is not that much good. Next Windows 10 came. Now Windows 10 is better than all these. That's why we are using Windows 10. In my laptop, I am having Windows 10. Your all laptops you are having Windows 10. Why? Because Windows 10 is better than all the previous. If it is not better than all the previous, it will not be used. Okay, like Windows 9. Okay, Windows 9 is not popular. Why? Because it is not better than Windows 8. Okay, so that's why. So Windows 10 is better than all those. That's why we are using. Here also boosting is nothing but some sample you are taking. You are creating a model. That model knowledge you are applying in model 2 creation. Okay, that knowledge M1 M2 knowledge you can apply in M3 creation, model 3 creation, like that. Consult several doctors based on combination of weighted diagnosis. You will put some weight to each and every diagnosis. Doctor 1, you will give some weight. Okay, you will analyze that and you will give some weight. So next, weights are assigned for each training tuple. Weights are assigned based on the previous diagnosis accuracy. Okay, previous diagnosis accuracy, previous result, accuracy result. Based on that, you will give some weight. Okay, how boosting works. Weights are assigned to each and every training tuple. A series of K classifiers. A series of K classifiers is iteratively learned. Okay, a series of K classifiers is iteratively learned. Number of times you will apply. Okay, here you can observe number of classifiers. Uh, Number of classifiers, each and every classifier applied on the data get some result. That result can be taken, and based on that, M2 also created by the entire data. Entire data can be taken and applied on some better result. A series of K classifiers is iteratively learned. After a classifier MI is learned, the weights are updated to allow the subsequent classifier. That is the difference. The main difference between bagging and boosting is in bagging, there is no subsequent. Here, the subsequent is there. So here in bagging, what is the process? Model 1 creation, model 2, model 3, model 4, and so on, model 10. Just we will combine all those combination M star, you will use them. But in boosting, M1 next M2, that M2 is better than M1. M3 is better than M1 and M2. M4 is better than M1, M2, M3. Why? Because it is a subsequent classifier. Okay, so after a classifier MI is learned, the weights are updated. Okay, so from this model we get some result now. So that from that result you are giving some weight to some other next record. Okay, so that weights can be updated subsequently. When you go to model 2, then also you are giving weights. Okay, based on that, if you are giving that weights, but that is wrong, get some accuracy 85. Then what you will do, where the errors 15% errors, where the 15% error. Okay, for those items you are again changing the weights. Like that, weights are updated every time. Weights are updated. Boosting is better than bagging, I can say. Why? Because every time weights are updated for every model. The weights are updated. Every model gives the better result than the previous one. Okay, so to pay more attention to the training tuples that were misclassified by MI, already M1 misclassified, M1 error rate is 15%. That error rate you have to rectify in model 2. In model 2 you have to get 14%. So in model 3 you must get 10%. Like that, I mean some less error, Okay, so if M1 gives 3% error, M2 has to give at least 2.99. M3 has to give at least 2.88. That may be the minute difference. It has the improve. That means in error it has to decrease. Error rate has to be decreased and accuracy has to be increased. That may be minute also. That can be done by boosting. Okay, so in each and every model by model, the accuracy should be improved. The final M star combines the votes of each individual classifier, where the weight of each classifier's vote is function of its accuracy. Okay, so here also each classifier weight we are taking, so that votes we are taking, and then next we are improving. Finally, we are getting good result. The boosting algorithm can be extended for the prediction of continuous values. Mainly, the boosting algorithm is a prediction of continuous values. Mostly, why? Because The boosting itself, it is a continuous improvement. Continuous improvement, with that we can get the better accuracy. Comparing with bagging, compare bagging and boosting. Boosting tends to achieve greater accuracy. Okay, so I told you now. So boosting obviously get higher accuracy. Why? Because in each and every model it is giving better result. If M2 is better than M1, M3 is better than M2, like that, no? So it is giving higher accuracy than boosting. But it is the problem overfitting the model to misclassified data. Overfitting, model overfitting. So that means M1 you are applied, you get some same elements for the same elements you are applying number of times now. In every time you are applying number of iterations you are doing for the same data, you are applying number of times means overfitting. Then on the same data you are number of times applying the model for all the elements. That means it is overfitting. Okay, so overfitting means all it is giving the exact result means it works mostly. So that is nothing but overfitting. All the it takes the each and every minute point. That is overfitting. That is some problem I can say in boosting. Except that boosting is always better than bagging. Okay, these are the two ensemble methods. Classification accuracy, we have seen different measures of classification accuracy. Next, what we have seen different ensembles method to increase the classification accuracy. Those two we have seen. Okay, with this your fourth unit completed. With this your fourth unit completed. This is the summary. Okay. So in fourth unit, what you have seen, classification and prediction are two forms of data analysis that can be used to extract models describing important data classes or to predict future data trends. Classification is nothing but to divide into classes. You have to find out the correct class labels. You have to assign the correct class data. You have to assign to the correct class labels. Prediction means you have to find out the next data, continuous data. For 10 users, this is the result. For 11th user, what is the result? That you have to predict. Otherwise, for past 3 days the climate will be like this. Then for today, what the climate should be. For tomorrow, what the climate should be. From last 10 days the climate conditions are like this. Then what should be the climate for next 10 days. The future data you have to predict. That is the prediction. Continuous value. See here, in classification we are assigning class labels to the data. Data is divided into classes. That is the classification. Prediction is nothing but continuous values. You are predicting the next value. Prediction is always a numerical value. You are finding out a numerical value. That may be a continuous value, that may be a missing value, that may be an unknown value. You are predicting that. That is nothing but prediction. Next, effective and scalable methods have been developed for decision tree induction. See here. So decision tree induction, how it will work, what is meant by decision tree, how the decision tree can be created. Okay, different decision tree algorithms we have seen, Hunt's algorithm we have seen, efficient and scalable methods. How the Hunt's algorithm can be efficient for decision tree induction. How you can use the decision tree for classification. How you are doing classification by using decision tree. We have seen several examples. For decision tree we have seen several example. Loan example we have seen, customer data based on that, based on age, based on their marital status, their credit risk. We are classifying the loan payment is risky or safe. That you are getting. That is the decision tree induction. New based classification you have done. New Bayesian classification, what you have done in New Bayesian classification, you use Bayes theorem. You find out the probability for all, probability for each and every one you are finding. uh, for some red, red, green, blue, like that. So for red you are finding out the probability, green, blue, you are finding out the probability. Finally it is related to which class. If it is for red, it is high probability, it is red, it related to red, you are giving the label as red. So next, otherwise for the 10 records, it is giving the 10 records. If you are calculating the probability is higher for green, the result will be for 11th record, the result will be green. For 10 records it is a blue, for 11th record the result will be blue. Like that, we have seen some examples for new base class examples. Okay, different types of cars. Next we have seen fruits examples. Fruits, okay, you have taken randomly what is the probability for that particular fruit is mango or banana or others. Okay, for which the probability is high, that is the result. Okay, the random taken fruit may be mango, random taken fruit may be banana, like that. That is the new Bayes classification. Next, Bayesian belief network. Bayesian belief network, what you have seen in Bayesian belief network, it is nothing but a directed acyclic graph. It is a directed acyclic graph. Okay. Acyclic, there are no cycles, and it is having directions. Okay, so the connections are having directions. You are predicting based on two conditions: so smoking and family history. Family history, smoking, both are there. Then automatically it is a probability of that particular person having the lung cancer. Okay, only family history, that particular person is having the probability of getting some result. Okay, he or she is having he or she is having some disease. Like that, we are having several results. Bayesian belief network, rule-based classifier, association rule-based. That is nothing but a rule-based classifier is nothing but different association rules. Next, back propagation. This is the main back propagation. Back propagation means neural network. First you have to know about the neural network. Um, First you have to find out about the neural network. Neural network there. So using several nodes, going to several nodes, finally you have to get the result. Um, what you are doing, again you are going back, and the actual value is something, and you predicted some value. What is the difference rate? The error rate is 0.02. Next time the error rate should be 0.01. Like that, after finding out the final result, you are again going back to the root node, and again you are processing, you are comparing with the previous result. What is the actual value, what is the predicted value. uh, every time you are checking actual value and predicted value, the predicted value should be always higher than the previous value. Like that, back propagation you are applying, the main difference between these three is these three is decision tree induction, new base classification, back propagation. In these three, back propagation is gives the best result. Back propagation gives the good accuracy than other two. Back propagation we are having drawback also. Drawback means then decision tree induction and naive Bayes classification, back propagation will gives the good result, exact result. Back propagation will gives the correct result. Then other two, accuracy is high for back propagation, but complexity is more when compared with decision tree and naive Bayes classification. Those two algorithms are simple. Just based on that algorithm, you will create a decision tree, or you will find out the unknown label for new base using new base classification. Just you follow the algorithm and you will find out. But a back propagation, it is difficult, okay, than other two methods. This back propagation classification by using back propagation is difficult. Why? Because understanding neural network and implementing neural network again and again, you have to go back and you have to find out the weights. You have to reduce the error rate. This is a complex process than previous two methods. Than previous two algorithms, it is the complex one. Next, associative classification. Associative classification is nothing but you will use association rules here. Using association rules, how you can classify the data that we are doing here. Support, you are taking the support of data. You are next contents of the data. Based on that, you are dividing data into several classes. That is the associative classification. Next, nearest neighbor classification. KNN we have seen K nearest neighbor classifier. Okay, using that you are doing classification. Okay, using KNN you are doing classification. How to divide the data, how to find out the nearest neighbors. Okay, so you have seen some example based on student marks, based on student marks, based on other students' marks. So which are nearer to that particular item that belongs to one class. Okay, you are finding out the distance between some item to all remaining other items. So for all other items, which is the less distance, that is the good result. That belongs to that particular class. If k is equal to 3, minimum distance, three elements. Those three elements you are taking and combining with this item. Those four items related to single class. Like that, you are every time you are taking the nearest value. Every time you are taking the less distance, and you are considering as a single class. Like that you are forming classes in k nearest neighbor. Next, case based reasoning. In case based reasoning, retrieval, again recollecting the data, again applying the data. This can be used. Next, fuzzy set approach, genetic algorithm, rough set approach. These all approaches. Classification methods are number of methods, various methods are there. So in those methods we have seen these methods. Next, linear, non-linear, generalized linear models of regression. Regression is a continuous value prediction. So the regression comes under prediction. So age you have to predict. Next, height you have to predict. Next, like that. In a prediction, we will use regression mostly. Okay, for prediction, many non-linear problems convert into linear problems by performing transformations on the predictor variables. Regression trees and model trees are used for prediction. Okay, so this is about the prediction. Still, we have seen about the k-fold crash validation recommended method for accuracy estimation. Mainly the bagging and boosting can be used to increase overall accuracy by learning and combining a series of individual models. How what should be done in bagging, what should be done in boosting. We have seen now itself now bagging, how you can combine the different models average, and that average we applied for a test set. Okay, and in boosting, for every model you are getting and analyzing that model knowledge can be applied to the next model, that knowledge can be applied to the next model. Like that, it is a continuous improvement of the models. There have been numerous comparisons of the different classification and prediction methods. See here, we have seen a number of techniques, classification techniques. We have seen decision tree classification, naive Bayes classification, next back propagation classification by using back propagation, associative classification, and fuzzy method, upset approach. Number of methods we have seen now. So all these we have seen, and what is the drawback of each and every method? What is the advantage of each and every method? We have enormous comparisons of all these methods we have done to find out the each and every method advantage and each and every method drawback. Okay, and we applied for several test cases also. We have seen several examples and we predicted the values. Okay, how the each and every method will work. So the all these we have seen. Yeah, and the matter remains a research topic. Okay, so here This is data mining. This subject is this classification, prediction. This is the very good research topic. So number of applications are there. You can see thousands, not only thousands, lakhs of papers in this particular research area, data mining and data warehousing. So from last 20 years, you can get enormous number of papers. It is a good research topic. Machine learning is not nothing but it is the advancement of data mining and data warehousing. From data mining itself, you are taking several topics. Those topics improvement, and those topics can be enlarged in machine learning. Okay. Next, no single method has been found to be superior over all others for all data sets. For some data set, decision tree indexing is better. For some data set, new base classification is better. For some data set, back propagation is better. Okay, a single method we cannot say a single method is good. Okay, for taken data set, if the data set is very large, means back propagation is not good. Why? Because back propagation is a complex process. It is good for small data set. It will gives the higher accuracy. 99.999 it will give, but it is good for small data set only. For higher data set also it is good, but the drawback is the complexity. If it's for small data set, the complex process also we can follow. Why? Because it gives a good accuracy. For if you have to take a very large data set, if you apply back propagation, that is a very complex process. Okay, so for exact result, for accuracy, we cannot go for back propagation for a large data set. Like that, which method is suitable for which classification method is suitable for which data set, that we have to take. Which prediction approach is good for which data set, that we have to see. Okay, so we have to analyze all these all knowledge we can get from this chapter. Okay, issues such as accuracy, training time, robustness means powerfulness. Training time means the to train a data set, how what is the time take. Okay, so for some decision tree, these 100 rows you have to learn. Then what is the training time the decision tree will take, what is the new base classifier will take. The training time is important. The accuracy, the robustness, the interpretability. Interpretability means understandability. Understandability of algorithm is very important. Decision tree understanding is very easy. New base algorithm is a little bit complex than decision tree. But here back propagation is very difficult than previous two. The interpretability also uh, very important. Why? Because the understanding of the algorithm, then only the user can follow. Okay, if the user cannot understand the method, any error occurred, the developer cannot, the user means the developer cannot rectify the problem. That's why the interpretability, understandability is important. Scalability, it has to be applicable for large data sets also. These all are different issues we are having, must be considered and can involve trade-offs. See here, trade-offs means if you get accuracy training time, you may not get robustness. If you get interpretability, you cannot get the accuracy. If you get the interpretability and scalability, you cannot get the training time. Like that, if you get some, if you lose some other things. Okay, these all features getting at a time is complex, at a time is impossible. Um, in a single method, you can find training time is good, accuracy is good, but it not satisfies the robustness, it not satisfies the scalability. Okay, like that, some features it satisfied mean some features it may not satisfy. Okay, so that's why it can involve trade-offs. For some data sets, some classification method, accuracy training time is high. For some method, robustness interpretability is high. Like that. Okay, for each and every classification method, in these 5 features, some method is having high accuracy, some method is having low accuracy, some method is having high training time, some method is having low training time, like lesser training time, like that. Okay. Further complicating the search for an overall superior method, complicating the search for overall superior. Which is superior means we cannot say this is superior. Why? Because a back propagation is giving good accuracy, but it is not having the property of interpretability. Why? Because understanding back propagation is difficult. Like that, which is the what is the superior method, that we cannot tell easily. It is complicated to find out what is the superior method. Okay, this is about the classification and prediction.